Hello and welcome to the Path to Freedom podcast, a weekly podcast with the intention to inspire, empower and uplift us all to develop a healing consciousness that we, that is you and me, may forever allow for greater and grander versions and expressions of who and what we are to emerge with ease, grace and spiritual dignity. My name is Daniel Roquillo and I am your host. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Path to Freedom podcast. This weekly podcast about healing, about freedom, about developing a healing consciousness, about growing, unfolding, allowing for greater and grander expressions of who and what we are to emerge with ease and grace. My name is Daniel Roquillo and I'm the host of this podcast. Welcome. Today's topic is let me see. I just thought of it. Breathe and celebrate. And a theme over these last few weeks have been coming back to the nowness of this moment. We've talked about disconnecting and reconnecting. We've talked about prayer. We've talked about meditation, and this theme apparently continues. This topic came to me, was it yesterday, I believe, because of things that are happening in my life. As always, this podcast is as much for my benefit as for anyone else's. And so these topics, they come to me because of things that are going on in my life and my experience. And right now, I'm moving through a shift. It apparently is a major shift. It's been going on for a couple of weeks, maybe longer. And I find myself, at least recently, I've caught myself, or I've caught my mind stretching into the future, trying to manipulate, trying to plan, trying to figure out how things are going to be, and those kind of things. And so as I asked myself yesterday, what is mine to do in this moment? We did an episode on that, well, a number of weeks ago. What is mine to do in this moment? As I asked myself, as I turned within and asked that question, what came back, what spirit guided me to, was these words: breathe and celebrate. So we're going to explore that in this episode. But before we move into a whole lot of talking, let's have a moment of stillness. Let's have a moment of meditation, coming back to the nowness of this moment, followed by prayer to lift our vibration even higher. And so in this moment, I invite you to take a deep breath. I invite you to tap gently between your eyebrows, that you may catch that which cannot really be caught with our human senses. And so I invite you to smile. I invite you to place your hands in your lap, thumb and middle finger touching. And let's remind ourselves that as we now move into this meditation, it is the very first time that we do so. Each moment is a new starting point. Each moment is a moment of beginning again. And so whoever we used to be, or whoever we were last time we sat to meditate, we are no more. But this is a new you and a new me. So this is the first time. And also, as we enter into meditation, we always want to have a high intention for that meditation. My intention for sitting is to wake up to who and what spirit is and my absolute oneness with it. That's my motive for meditating. So let's just gently allow the stillness to immerse us, flow through us, move us deeper and deeper and deeper. Turning our attention to our breath, allowing each breath to move us even deeper into the stillness. And you may realize that you don't need to breathe, but your body breathes by itself. Your body is highly intelligent. It's divinely intelligent. It knows how to breathe, and it knows when to breathe. So we can simply surrender to the body breathing. Allow it, giving it permission to do its thing. Should our attention drift to some external circumstance or condition, to the future or past or present, we gently and lovingly turn it back to our breath, and we begin again. Starting over. Fresh start. No judgment, no opinions. Simply love and compassion, understanding. All is well. Feel it, feel it, feel it. In a brief moment, I'm going to move into prayer. And I invite you to remain comfortable, remain with your eyes closed, remain open and available, receptive. And so in this moment, how grateful I am for this podcast, for this space. How grateful I am for my sacred space, my sanctuary, my office, and the peace that is here, and the peace that is in this moment, the harmony that is in this moment, the joy that is in this moment, and the love that is in this moment. How grateful I am for this moment, and how grateful I am that you tuned in to this moment, that you chose, that you keep choosing to join me and to participate in this co-creation of the field, of an expanded field, of a high vibrational field. I'm grateful for who you are, for where you are, for your contribution to not only to this podcast, but to the evolution and the unfolding of the human soul, for lifting the vibration on this planet. And as everything is one in all of creation. I'm grateful for your courage, for your willingness, for your discipline to do what needs to be done, to do the inner work necessary, not only to remain at a high vibration, but to raise your vibration in the midst of turmoil and chaos and negativity and fear and worry and doubt. And from this space of gratitude, I recognize the eternality and the goodness and the infinitude of spirit. That spirit is the same always and forever. The spirit is infinite love and infinite peace and infinite joy and infinite harmony, both the creator and the creation. And I recognize that spirit is forever sourcing and fueling and funding itself, thus all of creation. Forever sustaining and maintaining itself, thus all of creation. Forever moving and guiding and leading itself into eternally higher and greater expressions of who and what it is, in, through, and as all of creation. Which means that right where we are, spirit is. We are spirit expressing itself in, as, and through us. No separation, no diminishment, no division, but we are one with the one with the whole. Unique and perfect emanations of the one, the whole of spirit. Which means that right where we are, everything we need, we have. We are forever sourced and fueled and funded, forever sustained and maintained. Not by spirit, but because we are spirit. And we're forever, eternally moving, allowing greater and grander expressions into existence, into demonstrations. And it is happening now. It is happening now, in this moment. And as we come back to the nowness of this moment, because of our, or through our willingness, through our surrender, through our gratitude and thanksgiving and appreciation, we allow Spirit to flow through us with such ease and grace. We make ourselves open and available, conduits, vehicles, channels for the love and the light of God to flow through, simply because we come back to the nowness of this moment. Simply because we step out of time and move into the eternal. I know and feel that all is well, right where we are. All is well, right where we are. Spirit is. Spirit is, we are infinite love. Spirit is, we are infinite peace. Spirit is, we are infinite joy. Spirit is, we are infinite abundance. My God, there is so much to celebrate. There is so much to celebrate. So much to be grateful for. So much to be thankful for. And in this moment, our vibration has been lifted to that level. To the level of gratitude, thanksgiving, appreciation, celebration. I know it. I feel it. And from that space of gratitude and appreciation, I release this word. I surrender to the word. I say, thy will be done. And I know and I feel that it is done. That in the mind of God, it is done. It was done from the beginning of time, from before time. I know it. I feel it. I accept it. I give thanks for it. I allow it to be. And so it is, so be it. Amen. 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 So welcome back to this moment. To this moment of celebration. To this moment of breathing and celebrating. As I said, I'm moving through a shift. There's an expansion happening within me. The next great and grand expression is moving forward through me. And as it is, things are...
Hej, jag heter Siri.
And as it is, things are crumbling on the surface. Old structures are falling apart, making room for the new that is to emerge. But that new, we're still at an impasse where the old is falling apart, but the new has not yet emerged. Sort of like in Sweden, obviously it's spring, it's at the beginning of March, or at the end of March, And so looking out through the window, I see the yesteryear's or last year's grass and last year's plants on the meadows and on the lawn. And and so the ground is covered with a layer of brown dead foliage and plants. And underneath It has not yet broken through that surface, but underneath, the new is growing and will emerge eventually. It's probably only a matter of weeks, perhaps even days. But all I see right now is the dead layer on top. And that's kind of what my life feels like right now. The structures are crumbling. The surface or the old structures are crumbling. And the new, it is shooting, but it has not yet broken the surface. And so I constantly catch myself or catch my mind stretching into the future, trying to plan the future, trying to dictate what the future is going to look like, future moments is going to look like. And so it's like an anthill in my mind. My God, there are so many thoughts. And I easily get distracted in the sense that when I'm not paying attention, when I'm not consciously activating my mind, my mind just goes off in whatever direction. It gets pulled hither and yon, here and there. And so I think it was yesterday or perhaps even this morning that I asked the question. And I've been praying a lot and I've been meditating a lot, and I do maintain a high vibration, even though the future seems uncertain surface wise. In my heart, I know that all is well. Within, I know that something wonderful is happening. I know that everything is going to work out, but I can't see it yet. I can feel it, but I can't see it. But still, there's no fear, and there's no worry, there's no doubt within me. And so my vibration stays high, but I'm I would like I would like a little bit more peace in my mind, a little bit more stillness in my mind. And so I asked Spirit yesterday or this morning, what is mine to do? That's one of the most beautiful and most powerful questions I know of. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I invite you to do so. It's a number of weeks back. I think it was called What is Mine to Do in This Moment? And the answer that came back was breathe and celebrate. Both these are powerful anchors into the nowness of this moment. As I breathe, as I take one conscious breath, there's an immediate release, almost all of the time, an immediate release of whatever is going on in my mind, whatever thought patterns, whatever opinions and judgments and point of views, whatever mental structures I've been identified with. As I take that one conscious breath, or two, or three, or four, but it starts with the one. There's an immediate release, there's an immediate space opening up in between me, the observer, the consciousness, and the content of this consciousness. And then Spirit told me to celebrate. And what does it mean to celebrate? It means to rejoice. It means to raise our vibration to knowing and feeling that all is well. And so what can we celebrate? Well, we can only look around us, and there is an infinitude of things to celebrate. The beauty of a flower like the one I've got behind me, inspiring words. I've got a cup of tea standing right here. That's something worth celebrating. The abundance that we have. I mean, you and me, we are connecting and communing via technology that in some parts of the world they can't even dream about this technology because they have nothing. They have nothing. They don't even have running water. So having a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet, I mean, my God, the abundance that we have, or the health, this body, if I'm speaking about me and mine, this body, it is healthy, it is well, it is strong, it is vital, it is it's energetic. That's right there. It breathes, it digests the food, it creates all the enzymes and I don't even know the words in English, but it creates all I need and it creates all it needs to function. And it does this without me even having to be aware of it. My right there's like 50 things, and I'm just scraping the surface here. But right there's like 50 things to celebrate if we break it down. Like when I'm out driving, I can celebrate the car. I can celebrate that the heat in my seat is working. I'm one who loves warmth. I was actually not born for this climate here in Sweden. I'm so grateful that we're moving out of winter and into the spring and summer because I do not enjoy the cold. I do not enjoy the cold at all. At all. So I can celebrate that my car creates an environment where I get to be warm and cozy and comfortable. And the beauty that is everywhere. I mean, look, have you observed a stone? I mean, really looked at a stone. It is so perfected. It is divine perfection right there in each and every stone, or a mountain, or a tree, or a flower. Beauty is everywhere. And we can celebrate not only what we have, but we can celebrate what others have. Like I was watching a woman driving her car. We were driving alongside each other, and she was smiling. I have no idea what she was smiling about, but she that was a beautiful smile. So I celebrated that, and her smiling brought a smile to my face. So now I had even more to celebrate. Only our imagination, or no, that's not it. Only our ability to be anchored in the nowness of this moment dictates and determines how much or how little we have to celebrate. The more anchored, the more present in the nowness of this moment we are, the more we can find, or the easier it is to find something to celebrate. But when we are preoccupied with our mental structures, with past and future, and even the present moment, and I'm not talking about the nowness of this moment, but that which is happening right now. I can be in this present moment without being in the nowness of this moment. I can be preoccupied, not thinking about the future and not thinking about the past, but perhaps thinking about what you are thinking about me right now, or what my colleague is thinking about me right now, or what that jerk is doing right now, or whatever, you know. But as we come back to the nowness of this moment, as we find and access the peace and the harmony that is here, that's when we truly can activate celebration as a spiritual practice. And as a practice, it is powerful because it raises us to the vibration of gratitude. The vibration of gratitude is such a beautiful and powerful vibration. It's such a high vibration. And as we have been talking about, spirit can only mirror back to us what we give to spirit. So if we hang out in the vibration of gratitude, if we hang out in the frequency of appreciation and thanksgiving, realizing and acknowledging all the good, all the gifts and the blessings that we have, if our minds are stayed on thee, that is the only thing that spirit can reflect back to us. Like the law of gratitude states, the more we're grateful, the more we will be given to be grateful for. And so not only does it make me feel good to breathe and celebrate, because it does. I mean, when I'm sitting here laughing, or when I laughed at, not at, but with that woman driving the car earlier today, I feel darn good. I feel darn good. And even though I'm not experiencing much worry, I'm I'm energized by being in this high vibration as opposed to being caught up by the future and my mind attempts to plan the future, to manipulate the future, and to dictate the future. That exhausts me. I get tired by it. But now I'm not tired at all. And nothing has changed other than my vibration. And my vibration has shifted. It has been raised. It has increased because of my willingness to engage in this beautiful practice, to celebrate. To celebrate. And so in this moment, I invite you and I invite myself to become still, turn within, and simply ask, what can I celebrate in this moment? What can I celebrate now? So ask the question, listen, and catch, because the answer will be delivered to you in a language and in a way that you can understand. A physical sensation, a sound, a voice, a vision, a feeling tone, an inner knowing. What can we celebrate now? I don't know if you heard it, but there is a fly, or actually there are 3 flies in here. 2 of them are quite still, but the other one, the third one, just flew by. And that right there is something to celebrate. Life. And the divine perfection of life. And the divine intelligence of life. I mean, what are the odds that something like you and me, like us humans and flies and plants and all beings and all forms of life just on this planet, but what are the odds that that would just happen to coincide and be haphazardly created? No, the odds of that are I'm no mathematician, but I would imagine that the odds are too great to be perceived as plausible. But of course, there's something greater at the back of creation, like we said in the prayer. Spirit is both the creator and the creation. So we can celebrate spirit and spirit's ingenuity and imagination, and there is so much to celebrate. Breathe and celebrate. Which got me thinking, there's a Buddhist practice. I don't remember what it's called. But from the perspective of seeking to call something forth, from the perspective of seeking to have something manifest, there's the practice that has with celebration, that has to do with celebration. And as I said, I don't remember what it's called, but imagine for a minute that you are seeking, or that you are desiring to call forth greater health and vitality. What you do, because it's all about vibrations, whatever we are in vibrational alignment with must come into form at some point in due time. Form always follows consciousness. So whatever we are in consciousness, whatever we predominantly feel and believe about ourselves, must and will come into manifestation. And so let's say for a moment that we're seeking to call forth greater health. A beautiful practice to move into the vibrational alignment with greater health is to celebrate whenever you see someone who is healthy. Not necessarily someone who goes to the gym like 10 times a week, who is extremely fit, but just someone who is healthy, who's free from pain, whose body is agile and free to move around, who's not sick all the time, who's not ill all the time, but who's healthy. Whenever you see such a person, you would celebrate their health as though it were your own health. Or if you seek to call forth financial abundance, you'd celebrate whenever you see someone who appears to have a lot of money. You would celebrate their abundance and their prosperity and their wealth and their financial freedom as though it were your own. Because what happens is that we extricate ourselves from whatever conditions and circumstances we find ourselves in. And as we move or raise our vibration to the level of celebrating someone else's good fortune or someone else's, I don't want to say good luck, because that's not, luck is not a factor, but their well-being and the wholeness that is expressing itself, the abundance and the health that is expressing itself in their life. What happens is that we move out of the vibration of lack, of I don't have. They have, but I don't. We move ourselves out of that to the vibration of I have. If I can celebrate another's as though it was my own, then I am at I have, or I am. So that's another beautiful practice. It's a little twist on this one. I didn't think of it, or I don't think spirit meant for me to celebrate necessarily someone else, but simply move into a state of celebration. But it came up. here and now. And so I want to bring it up and I want to honor it. So that's a beautiful manifestational tool to celebrate someone else who has something that we don't, but that we desire to have. So let's have a little bit of practice again. I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to tune in, turn within, and simply ask, what can I celebrate in this moment? And from here, I'm going to bless us out. So I invite you to remain with your eyes closed. I invite you to keep that smile that perhaps the celebration brought to your face. And I invite you to stay in that high vibration. Keep celebrating. It doesn't matter if you can't hear my prayer, but stay in that high vibration of celebration. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Don't let anything pull you down. At least not right now. And so in this moment, I'm so grateful for the celebration that is taking place. I'm so grateful for how much there is to celebrate. If we only look for it, if we only seek it, if we only are still enough to catch it, to receive it. I'm so grateful for the grace of Spirit and for the wisdom of Spirit. I know that God is omniscient, which means that God knows all there is to know. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful for God's love who shares it with us. I'm so grateful for this podcast, and I'm so grateful for that still small voice that speaks to me, that whispers words of wisdom and guidance within me, guiding and leading and moving me forever forward and onward and upward. And I'm so, so grateful for your willingness to participate in this, for your willingness to participate in this high conversation, for your willingness to raise your vibration and your frequency, to expand your consciousness, that you may be a beneficial presence on this planet, that you may be a beneficial presence in all of creation, for all of creation. Because whatever happens here happens everywhere. Everywhere. And for this, I'm grateful. And from this space of gratitude, I recognize and I feel the goodness of Spirit, the benevolence of Spirit, the fundamental goodness of God. I feel how God is forever for us, guiding and leading and moving as there is no us, but for us as unique and perfect emanations of Spirit. We are individuals, and individual really means undivided. So we're emanations of Spirit. We're expressions of Spirit, but we are never apart from Spirit. But I'm so grateful for God's willingness to inspire and empower us to go deeper and to go higher. go deeper and higher. Because we're all one. We're all one. So the will of God is eternally imprinted upon our soul. And the will of God is for all of creation, thus itself, to come into forever greater and grander expressions of itself. And my God, how good it is to be one, to consciously commune and connect with Spirit. With the ease and grace that everything flows. My God, how grateful I am. I know that right where we are, something wonderful is happening. Right where we are, something wonderful is happening. All truly, truly, truly is well. All is well. I know it and I feel it. And through our willingness to celebrate, to breathe and celebrate, we're making ourselves open and available for more of the good of Spirit to flow through. As we are, through our willingness to celebrate, we are releasing and letting go of that which would and that which has previously hindered and obstructed and obscured the light of God from flowing through us, from radiating out from us, from shining through us. But through our celebration and our gratitude, that is now dissolved, disintegrated, transmuted into the nothingness from which it came. And so, full of gratitude, full of appreciation, full of thanksgiving, I release this word. I surrender to the word. I say, thy will be done, and I know that it is done. I know that it is done. I feel that it is done. And the doneness of it is now demonstrating itself in this dimension. It is now manifesting itself in this dimension. I know it, I feel it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, I allow it to be, and so it is, and so be it. Amen. 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 Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, flies. You're so energetic. That's celebration right there. You can't see it, but perhaps you can hear it. That's celebration right there. Celebrating life. All right, until the next time, I bless your day and I bless your way. Namaste.
You have been listening to an episode of the Path to Freedom podcast with me, Daniel Roqueo. I invite you to stay tuned for more episodes. If you have any questions or comments or just want to get more inspiration and empowerment, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I also invite you to visit my website, danielroqueo.com. I bless your day and I bless your way, you beautiful, wonderful being.